boys and girls of grade 6. I am teacher Melinda Hughes, and today for social studies, I am happy to share this wonderful topic with you. The topic is festivals and celebrations of Guyana. Festivals and celebrations of Guyana. But of course, there is a subtopic. So what is that subtopic? National and international events that are celebrated under festivals and celebrations. So, as an independent country, Guyana celebrates festivals that coincide with national and international events. These festivals that we will learn about today are not national holidays, but are observances that are significant to our history. The first one we will examine today is Commonwealth Day. Commonwealth Day. Commonwealth Day is observed in parts of the Commonwealth of Nations, formerly which was done on May 24 as the anniversary of Queen Victoria's birthday, but now it is celebrated and observed on the second Monday in March annually. The aim of this Commonwealth Day is to celebrate the unity, diversity, and links of modern Commonwealth and to foster greater understanding of Commonwealth's achievements and role. Quite a lot. The Commonwealth of Nations has its headquarters in England. What are some of the activities that are done for this observance? Activities that are held on this day. 1. An Anglican service attended by the head of the Commonwealth, the Secretary General, and High Commissioners. The service is broadcast live throughout the world. So here we have an image showing us the Queen of England attending the church service on Commonwealth Day with her royalties. Next we look at Youth Week. What is Youth Week? Youth Week is a special week that is dedicated to observance of youth and their energies during the week for that day when independence of Guyana is observed. So the week for which the 26th of May falls, that week is dedicated as Youth Week in Guyana. This week gives youth an opportunity to participate in activities which will help to develop them and the communities in which they live. Some activities that are done during Youth Week are exhibitions, rallies, and youths would showcase their talents. In addition to Youth Week, the next non-national holiday or the next observance that we have is Enmore Martyrs Day. Enmore Martyrs Day. This day is in honor of the sugar workers who were killed on June 16, 1948. Yes, there were sugar workers who were killed. How did that happen? The workers' names are Rambaran, Puran, Lalabaji, Surajbali, and Hari. 5 sugar workers were killed. How did it happen? They were marching against the social and economic conditions that sugar workers worked under on the plantations on the east coast of Demerara. As a matter of fact, as they worked and they labored, those men thought it best with their colleagues to fight against, to march against the ill practices that were meted out to them by the owners of the plantation. So that In fighting or in seeking to gain attention, workers were shot at by colonial police, and so these 5 men, Rambaran, Puran, Lalabaji, Surajbali, and Hari, were killed. So every year on June 16, wreaths are laid where they were buried. So in the picture, we see that wreaths are being laid on their tombs. A monument was erected in honor of those 5 heroic sugar workers. So today, standing tall on the east coast of Demerara, in the village of Enmore, there is a monument. And so that monument is named or is known as Enmore Martyrs Monument. On June 16, wreaths are also laid by relatives who survive those 5 sugar workers and other renowned leaders of our country. The next observance we will look at is Education Month. This is observed in the month of September. Guyana's Education Month is a celebration of the nation's young people. It aims to promote learning and the importance of education, not just on an individual level, but in terms of benefiting society as a whole. Education Month is celebrated with several activities across the country. So what are some of those activities? During this month, World Literacy Day is observed on September 8th. This observance takes place annually around the world to remind the public of the importance of literacy. So in Guyana, there are some activities that are done on September 8th. 1. Book fairs. 2. Exhibitions. 3. Spelling bees and quizzes. We also have pupils and students who do storytelling in order to celebrate International Literacy Day. So in the picture, we can see some of our pupils and students, even teachers and parents, are in attendance at a book fair. We have pupils who are seated, taking part in storytelling. In addition to Education Month, and that special emphasis on September 8th, which is International Literacy Day, we also observe Indigenous Heritage Month. Indigenous Heritage Month. This 1-month celebration is observed every September. Guyanese become increasingly aware of the contributions of the indigenous people in arts and development. A village host is chosen annually. What are some of the activities that are held to observe or in honor of indigenous heritage? 1. We have National Exhibition. 2. We have Indigenous Heritage Day, which is observed on September 10. That day is observed in honor of the first indigenous parliamentarian. Next, we have a pageant, which is held and the sashing of the Indigenous Heritage Queen. So these are some activities that are held during the month of September. 1, we have Education Month with its several activities, and Indigenous Heritage Month, which focuses on our indigenous people. So in Guyana, October is designated as Agriculture Month, where the focus is on promoting agriculture across the regions of Guyana. We also have a national exhibition on October 16, which is World Food Day. In addition to Agriculture Month in Guyana, we observe Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Breast cancer awareness is an international observance. This is held in keeping with honoring those who have survived the disease of breast cancer and also empathizing with families who would have lost their loved ones to breast cancer. In keeping with the national and international observance, a pink ribbon is worn or a pink band, or folks usually dress in pink in honor of those who have survived or in support of families who would have lost their loved ones to breast cancer. What other observance do we have in the month of October in Guyana? This, of course, is not an international observance, but it is done each October or every October in Guyana. I refer to Road Safety Week. In October, leading into November, there is a special emphasis on road safety. And we know that persons use the road either by vehicles or by cycles or motorcycles or by using their feet or animal-drawn carts. And so there is need for observance of road safety rules so that during the month of October leading into November, there is a special emphasis on road safety. Not that it is only done during that time, but road safety is observed all during the year, but during that particular period, special emphasis is placed on road safety. So we would see traffic police officers line the streets, not only of the city, but across the country, directing traffic. Some would visit schools and have road safety talks and tips, demonstrations, where pupils and other road users can become more aware of the safety rules that govern the use of our roads. Next, we have the observance that falls in the month of November. In November, Guyana promotes tourism. Tourism Awareness Month is observed in November. What happens during that time? Various tourist destinations of the country are on exhibit. They exhibit those places and promote tourism at the local level so that Guyana can earn currency, whether foreign or local, from its tourism sector. In addition to Tourism Awareness Month in November, there is also another national observance which is linked to an international event. What am I talking about? Remembrance Day. Remembrance Day is not a national holiday. Guyana and other countries around the world celebrate Remembrance Day. Remembrance Day is also known as Armistice Day, Poppy Day, or Veterans Day. Remembrance Day is commemorated on November 11 annually. However, in Guyana, a special wreath-laying ceremony is held on the second Sunday of November. Armistice Day reminds us of the soldiers who died in World Wars I and II. World War I began in 1914 and ended in 1918, while World War II began in 1939 and ended in 1945. A monument named the Cenotaph was built in memory of Guyanese soldiers who fought and died in the two world wars. The Cenotaph is located at the junction of Main and Church Streets opposite the Bank of Guyana in Georgetown. Of course, in other regions across Guyana, there is a cenotaph. So the image that we see there is an image of the cenotaph that was erected in honor of soldiers who fought and died in the two world wars. This cenotaph is located at the junction of Main and Church Streets in Georgetown opposite the Bank of Guyana. Of course, in some of our other regions across Guyana, there are cenotaphs that have been erected. What are some of the activities that are done in honor of Remembrance Day? 1. The day is marked by parades within the towns of Guyana. So members of the Guyana Police Force, of the Guyana Defense Force, and other organizations turn out in numbers on that day and they march. We also have veterans who participate in the parades as well. And if you notice in the picture there, we have some veterans who are wheeled. Some of them would have survived the World War II or the Second World War, while some of them were soldiers who supported those who went and fought in those wars. So we have the veterans who take part in the parade as well. In addition to parades, there is a service where wreaths are laid at the Cenotaph. So the first picture shows us where an officer is preparing to lay a wreath, and that is done at the Cenotaph in New Amsterdam, Berbice. The next image shows us where a member of the Guyana Defense Force is preparing to lay a wreath. That wreath is laid at the Cenotaph in Georgetown. So there we see that the service is not only held in Georgetown where wreaths are laid, but also across the towns of Guyana. Poppies are worn by citizens in remembrance of fallen soldiers. So this is another activity. So boys and girls, I am sure that you have worn a poppy before, because when Remembrance Day is observed, poppies are usually sold at schools. And so boys and girls get an opportunity to wear one in honor of fallen soldiers. In addition to poppies, laying of wreaths, and parades, a 2-minute silence is held to remember those persons who died in the World Wars. Of course, that is done on November 11. So boys and girls, this has brought us to the end of our lesson for today. Today, when we focused on festivals and celebrations, but those that are national and international events celebrated in Guyana. Of course, these are not national holidays, but special observances. I trust that you have gained from listening, and I encourage you to keep focused as you prepare for your exam. Until next time, see you boys and girls. Be safe.